guys. Today we are going to be learning about sandwiches, hot and cold sandwiches. I have your I can statements that I'm going to pass out. It says I can tell the difference between hot and cold sandwiches, and you guys by the end of this lesson are going to be able to tell the difference between the two. So what do you think about when you hear the word sandwich? What do you guys think about? Club sandwich? Ham sandwich? Okay. Anybody else? What kind of hot sandwiches can you think of?
Grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese. Okay, that's a good one. Okay, yeah, that's good too. All it takes to make a sandwich is bread, a spread, and filling. But from the simple set of ingredients, you can make a variety of sandwiches. So that is the variety. We're going to dive into the sandwiches and what different types there is. We're going to learn about hot and cold and different ways to do the hot sandwiches. Sandwich types. Our first one is a closed sandwich. These sandwiches have two pieces of bread with a filling between them. Open-faced sandwiches with two pieces of bread plated side by side. The spread and fillings are added on top of one or both pieces of bread. A triple-decker sandwich. These sandwiches include 3 pieces of bread stacked with fillings between each layer of bread. Finger sandwiches. Whenever I say finger sandwiches, what comes to mind? Tea parties. That's good. Sliders, okay. And what about, where would you serve them at? Fancy place, okay. What about weddings? Baby showers, good. So finger sandwiches are small, fancy closed sandwiches with the crust removed. They are often cut into various shapes. Yes, triangles, anything. I've seen everything. Wraps. So these easy-to-eat sandwiches are made with soft flatbreads that are folded or wrapped around the fillings. So a peanut butter and jelly is considered a closed sandwich. This is an open-faced sandwich. This is how you have your 2 pieces of bread, and then you have your fillings on top. So sometimes it's just one-sided with just a piece of bread, so you can just fold it over, or there's 2 pieces like that. A triple-decker sandwich, this one is actually grilled. See the little grill marks on top. So they probably use a griddle. And there's 3 pieces of bread. Finger sandwich, and then a wrap. So those are examples. So breads, what kind of breads do you think of whenever you think of sandwiches? White bread, wheat bread, what else? Sourdough, Subway. Yeah, that's good too. Multi-grain is another one too. But breads have guidelines. So the guidelines, you want to choose breads that are not too hard or crusty. So if you have a sandwich that's super hard in front of you and you take one bite, you're more than likely not going to eat it because it's too hard to bite. You're going to select breads that do not overpower the filling. And then choose breads that are thick enough to hold the filling without tearing. So this is a good example, like with a wrap. If you have too thin of a wrap and you pile everything of the fillings and the vegetables and the cheeses and the spread in there, and you try to roll it up and it starts cracking and breaking, that's an example of if you're overloading it. You don't want it too thick. There are 3 types of spreads: butter, mayo, and veggie purees. Butter adds smooth and rich flavors. There are many types of flavored butter, which add a zip of flavor to the sandwich. Mayonnaise, it has been a choice of spread for a long time. It can also be flavored with herbs, fruits, pesto, and mustard. Vegetable purees are made with chopped olives, avocados, or eggplant, and then purees add the flavor. So a bunch of the finger sandwiches, a bunch of the veggie purees are usually added to those finger sandwiches because they are they're just easy to pick up and just eat. And they have all that different stuff inside. Okay, the fillings. Filling is the main act. It can be in hot or cold sandwiches. The fillings might include meats, poultry, fish, cheese, vegetables, or you can have a combination of all of them. There are different cheeses. Cheeses are high in protein, vitamin A, calcium, and phosphorus. Many types are soft, semi-soft, and hard cheeses. Sliced cheese can be used for closed sandwiches or melted on top of open-faced sandwiches. Cream cheese is a good cheese for finger sandwiches. The types are Swiss cream cheese, ripe and young Gouda, white cheddar, and mozzarella. So ripe and young Gouda. So whenever it's young, it's probably not going to be as strong, but when it's ripe, it's going to have a stronger taste. Has anybody in here tried Gouda? No, it's really good. It's really good, especially melted. Melted Gouda is really good. Okay, so whenever you go to a restaurant and you order a sandwich, it's normally served with something, and something would be whole vegetables, maybe carrots, radishes, green onions, or cherry tomatoes. You can have sticks of celery and carrots, lettuce, leaves, or baby spinach, sliced cucumbers, tomatoes. Pickles are usually the common one, and then like if you're served like a hot sandwich, you grilled or marinated vegetables. That's always what I think of is if I get a cold sandwich, am I really going to want hot vegetables, you know? So, okay, so now we're going to talk about hot sandwiches. Open face sandwich, place one side or one slice of butter or unbuttered bread or half on a serving plate. Then top with hot meat or other fillings and cover it with hot topping, such as a cheese or sauce. And then you're going to roll the sandwich so the cheese can melt if needed. Sometimes when you cook your meat and you put it on the bread and then you put your cheese on top, sometimes the cheese is already melted. But if you like that extra like creamy cheese, then you want to place it in the oven on broil and let it melt the cheese even more. Grilled or toasted, butter is on the outside of the bread and the filling is between the two pieces of bread, and browning on the griddle or in the oven. So somebody mentioned when they thought of the word sandwich, they thought of a panini. So a panini is another type of grilled sandwich, but it needs a panini press. It basically just presses it down and flattens everything and heats everything up. They're really good. A deep fried sandwich. The filled sandwich is dipped in beaten egg batter and deep fried. This is an example of a Monte Cristo. Has anybody in here ever tried a Monte Cristo? Yeah, they're good. They're really good. And the top of that is powdered sugar. Yeah, really good. Hey, who thought pizza was a sandwich? Ain't that crazy?
What?
Yes. So pizza is considered a hot, open-faced Italian pie or sandwich. It has yeast dough and toppings such as cheese, meat, and vegetables. It can be thick, thin, or pan, and they can be wood-fired, roasted, or kindling baked, which that means baked in an extremely hot oven. There are three styles: Chicago style, New York style, and Neapolitan. And here's your three styles. Your Chicago is like that deep dish, and the New York style is the thin and crispy. And the Neapolitan style is simple and fresh. What that means is there's just a light sauce of the marinara, and then there's fresh cheese, that's mozzarella, that's fresh mozzarella, and probably basil or spinach on top of that. But ain't that crazy that pizza is actually a sandwich? I wouldn't have thought, I had no idea. That's so cool. All right, so we're going to switch gears to sandwich stations.